YouTube, what's going on? As always, hope everybody's doing well. Happy Friday. If you're watching this today, it's Friday. It is, what is it? May 21st, 2021. Happy Friday, everybody. My name is Kenny, Box Truck Kenny, but everybody calls me Kenny. Hey, if this is your first time coming to the channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I certainly appreciate it. If you would, please subscribe. I always say if you figure out later on down the line you don't like the channel, you can always unsubscribe. But by subscribing and hitting the like button, that will help us reach more people. The more people we reach, the more people we can get engaged with, the more information you and I can get. So please, by all means, if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button. I think we're over 50 subscribers today. I got to go back and look. Super appreciative of that. Thank you so very much. I don't take it for granted. I appreciate you being here. Don't forget, leave a comment. If I get something wrong, please correct me. I am not an expert. I'm a newbie as well to YouTube, to the box truck lane, have some experience with tractor trailer, work for a couple of companies, but was never an owner and operator, certainly never an owner operator for box trucks. So we're learning it together. This is just my perspective, where I am in the process, and just telling you what I think. If I know it, I'll tell you this is what I know to be true. But by all means, no expert. So I appreciate you being here. Shout out to all the other YouTube channels. I watched a lot of them yesterday. There was some good content out there. So a lot of box truck channels on here on YouTube, which is really good. Get some good information. So we got that out the way. What are we talking about today? We'll talk about how much money you need. That's been a really big topic. Hold on, let me turn the PlayStation off. I got my priorities on. I'm supposed to be trying to make money with a box truck. I'm playing PlayStation. Anyway, that's one of the biggest questions that I've been hearing as of late. How much money, Kenny, am I going to need to start my box truck business? I don't know if there's a clear answer for that question. I've heard people throw numbers around. You need 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30 bands. I mean, I've heard all kind of numbers. So as always, I will come at it from another perspective and talk a little bit about my experience and what some of my numbers were. It can be different, will be different. It will probably be different for you. So the numbers can vary. It really can. But I think the most expense is going to be your truck, your insurance. You want to set aside some money for maintenance, and you want to have some reserve money. How much? Well, let's see if we can figure that out together. So the first thing, obviously, you're going to have money to start your business. And we talked about this yesterday. Take steps. Don't try to do it all in one time. Just make moves every day or every month or however you want to do it. But after you do that, the big expense you're going to occur is going to be your truck. Now, I don't know if you're going to pay cash. I don't know if you're going to want to finance, if you're going to want to lease, or if you're going to want to rent. A lot of people are renting. I call it try before you buy it. If you want to try before you buy it, send me an email. You can work for me to start off to try it. I'm looking for a driver. So, but those are the ways to get a truck. So let me go through them again. Pay cash, which I always recommend if you can, because now you don't have that expense every month, right? But if that's not an option, you got financing the truck, you got leasing a truck, and you got renting a truck. I only know about financing a truck because, again, that was my process. That's what I did last week. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, let me go back a little bit. I purchased a 2017 International 26-foot box truck with a brand new lift gate, 3,200 pound capacity, I believe, 70-gallon diesel tank. That's what I bought last week. I bought it in Louisiana. I drove it back to Texas, which is where I'm from, where I live. And I got to get it registered in Texas. And then at that point, I'll figure out if I'm going to do OTR with a driver or if I'm going to sign it up to Amazon. So that's where I am in the process. So I'll be really talking more about the finance because that's what I did. So I know a little bit more about the finance portion At least I know the part, what it took for me to do it. So I'm pretty much going to lean on that particular area. But those are the options: paying cash, financing, leasing, renting. Those are the primary ones right there. And so what I did, everybody was telling me to go to, what is it? Penske. A lot of people were saying they're the easiest. I think they use a company called Premier Financing. And they were extremely slow at getting back to me. This was my process. Nothing bad against Penske. This is just, they were slow getting back to me. They sent me a list of trucks to look at. They asked what area was I in, was I okay with traveling to go get the truck, which I was. And they sent me a list. When they first sent me a list, the trucks didn't work, not because I didn't like them, but when you're financing a truck, the bank is going to look at a couple things. Number one, how much is the truck? Number two, how old is the truck? And number three, how many miles on the truck? Why does that matter? Well, that matters because when a bank is going to lend you money for the truck, they want to make sure that the truck is going to last during the duration of that loan. Does that make sense? So if you're looking at I don't know, let's just say a 2012 and it's got 300,000 miles on it. Well, the bank is going to probably frown a little bit at that because number one, it has too many miles on it, right? And it's an older vehicle. And correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but this is what a couple of the finance companies was telling me. So they came back and said, you need to find a truck that's at least 2015 or newer, under, under 275,000 miles, I think. And they would probably finance that 3 years, maybe 4 if I was lucky. This was before they ran any credit or anything of that. This is just me talking to the finance company. It was in my research phase. Remember, I talked about research. So that was not what I was looking for. So I went and reached out to Toyota. Toyota is primary finance. He knows are made by Toyota. So went to Toyota, found a truck through a dealership, and they actually approved me. Toyota approved me. But when they approved me, they wanted $15,000 down. I'll give you a minute. Yeah, I didn't pay for it. That's not the truck I bought. They wanted $15,000 down. They were going 60 months on the truck, and the payment was $900. Payment wasn't bad. That was perfect. I always believe try to be under $1,000 if you can. My belief, could be wrong, my personal opinion. Yours may be and probably will be different. Zero is the best, right? But so they said $900 a month for 60 months at $15,000 down payment. That wasn't going to work for me. So I said, is there any way we can get that down payment lower? And so they said, well, the reason the down payment is high is had nothing to do with my credit at all. I was trying to put the truck in my company name, and the company has not been established long enough and didn't have enough business credit. That's why the video I did on, I think yesterday, it was talking about first steps to take to get into the trucking business. Build your business credit. Start your business, because your business is getting older and older. And so when you go finance it, it's not a new business. Those things matter, believe it or not. So my business was so new that when they put a number like $15,000, they believe there's some risk involved, whether it's credit, whether it's time in business, whether there's no experience in having a commercial vehicle. And so $15,000. So they said, however, if you can send us some bank statements, then maybe we can drop that down. Well, I really didn't have a lot of bank statements for my trucking company because it's a new trucking company, right? So what I did is I sent them bank statements from my other business. Remember, I have 2 other businesses. That business has been around for almost 4 years. And so, there's taxes on that one that I was able to show, and bank statement and cash flow. When they saw that, the first thing they said is, this is good. Can that company co-sign for your new company? I says, yeah, I'll consider that. So then they came back and said, well, don't even worry about it, because they saw there was cash flow. There was money in the bank account. There was some stability within that company. They decided to, don't even worry about it. We'll do it in your truck's name and your truck company name only. Load up transportation. And now the down payment went down to $3,000. Man, a lot better, right? Zero was what I was shooting for, but it went down to $3,000. And I'm going to tell you why it's hard to get zero, but it went down to $3,000. The payment went up. So let me back up. One of the other factors is, how much is the truck? That's key. How much money are you financing? Are you financing $20,000? Are you financing $30,000? Are you financing $50,000, $60,000, whatever the number is? The more you finance, and obviously the more your payments is going to be, because if you, and depending on the term, how many years are you financing? Most cases, they want to do 36 months, some 48. If your credit is decent, they'll go 60 months, and also depends on the year, make, and model of the truck, how many miles, and all of that stuff. So they went down to $3,000, but the payment went up to, I think, $1,160 some. I don't know. I didn't want to pay that. And remember, I want to be under $1,000. And so I went with another company, International, this is the truck I actually bought. Same scenario, got a quick approval. You know, they tried to hit me with the 3 years and the 48 months, and I was like, nope, stretch it out. Now, some people don't want to stretch it out. You want to get it over with. You want to pay it off quick. That's better, I think, but that's not what I did. So, you know, they came back and said, okay, we'll go 60 months. Here's how much money you're going to have to put down. You don't want to know that, do you? If you send me an email, I'll tell you. But I didn't put $15,000 down. That I can tell you. And my payments are under $1,000, way under $1,000. Remember, I talked about how I wanted to keep my expenses low because the way I want to do the business, I want to be in a hotel every night. Most people say, don't do that. You're cutting into your profit. But with my expenses being so low, I'm able to get into a hotel every night, not a 5-star now, and still be profitable, you know, where I need to be. I can still make the money that I want to make, if that makes sense. So that's what works best for me. Not telling you what to do. It's probably not the right thing, but it works for me. So that's what I did. So just to kind of recap, how much is the truck? I'm looking at my notes here on my phone here. The financing terms, meaning how many years, interest rates, work history. How long has your trucking company been in business? Do you have any contracts already? Are you working with Amazon? Do you have any something on the letterhead saying you're going to work with this particular company? If you know somebody that has a trucking company and they will say that you're going to be doing, you know, hauling for them and your company, that can help too. So they may ask for that. What else? Down payment. Guys, listen. When you finance a personal car, it's totally different than financing a commercial vehicle. You know, most people say, well, is it a commercial vehicle? Because it's $26,000 or a little bit lower, right? So here's my understanding. Anything that's 10,000 pounds or above is considered a commercial vehicle. Doesn't mean you need a commercial driver's license to operate it, but the category for something that's 10,000 pounds or more is a commercial vehicle. That is why you are required to use the ELD, even though it's not a CDL vehicle. Does that make sense? If it's 10,000 pounds or more, it is considered a commercial vehicle. So your personal car more likely is nowhere near that in most cases. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I was able to figure out in my research. So once it becomes a commercial vehicle, and here's another little nugget. When you go to get a fuel card, they're going to ask you what type of industry in it. What type of industry is it? So once you put down trucking company, they're going to more likely want that to be a revolving payment of every 15 days. Sometimes 30, but even if it's 30, they want you to pay it off in full because, you know, people with fuel cards and trucking companies, they're using a lot of fuel every week. And so that's what I found. It had nothing to do with credit. It was the industry. And so back to the vehicle. These box trucks are considered commercial vehicles. so the way you finance them is going to be totally different. But your credit does matter. Length of time in business matters. In most cases, a down payment matters. How much that down payment, again, how much is the truck? How's your credit? How long are you looking to finance? All that's going to be a factor. So where am I going with all this? I don't know if I can tell you how much money you're going to need. I can tell you that's going to be one of your expense, if not the biggest expense, next to insurance. Your insurance, we've talked about this in pretty much all of my videos. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be, because that comes down to where you are. What state are you in? What's your zip code? What's your driving record like? You're a new authority. So, I've seen that number vary from $2,000 down, $3,000, $4,000, some cases almost $5,000 down. I mean, that's what I've seen. Now, for me, it was different. I think I mentioned this in one of the other videos. I got bobtail insurance. And once I get ready to put it to work, what is it, FMCA? I forget what you know what I'm talking about. The requirements is actually $750,000. But to work, in most cases, you're going to need that $1 million. And if you're doing Amazon, I think an aggregate of $2 million as well. So I'm going to add that after the fact. So that since I did bobtail, when I actually go back and add the other coverage that I need to start working, I don't have to pay that down payment. At least that's what it's been for me. I paid an $800 down payment to get my bobtail insurance. Bobtail, get it off the lot, legal to drive it where I need to take it. But now, and this is through Progressive, you can save money if you already have a Progressive account. I have Progressive on all my vehicles, my car, my motorcycle. I've been having Progressive forever, so discount right there. You'll also get another discount, my understanding, when you get your ELD through Keep Trucking. Let me see. So yeah, those discounts right there, the quote that I received, it's fair. But again, your numbers is going to be different from my numbers. But that's a little nugget that may work for you. Get some bobtail insurance just to get it off the lot. And if you get it through Progressive, they'll allow you to come back and add to your policy, and you don't have to pay that down payment. Your first month may be a little bit higher, but it's not going to be the difference of that $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, nothing like that. Maybe a few $100s more just for your first monthly payment, and that's due in 30 days. So that's kind of the experience I've had. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at for example, it's another guy's channel. What's his name? The African Brother. I think it's what he calls himself. I'm not being funny. I think that's what he calls himself, the African Brother. And he bought a new truck, according to him. And some people said he's paying maybe $800 some a month. I don't know that. I've not seen that video, but I have heard him say he bought a new truck. New trucks, number one, they're going to go longer on the terms. They may even go longer than 60 months. That truck is not a risk in terms of it not lasting. So, sometimes it may be even better to buy a new truck. I didn't, but I'm just saying it may be. You can, when you're doing your research, look into that if you want to buy a new truck. Some people prefer just to rent a truck and not even buy a truck. Those are your options and things you're going to have to look at when you're doing your research and figure out what lane works best for you. But that's a little bit about financing, guys. Do not let people just shop your credit around. You'll be taking hard inquiries on your credit and your score go down. So do your research and figure out one or two. That's it. Go with the best option. So how much money do you need to start a trucking business? I don't know. You're going to need, like I said, you're going to need some money to get into your truck. You're going to need some money for your insurance. You're certainly going to want to have some sort of maintenance account set up so when the truck breaks down. Notice I didn't say if, when. Even a new truck can and will break down. So you're going to want to have money for that. And you want to have reserves. Most people think when I say maintenance, that's reserve. No, maintenance and reserve is two different things. You want to have some reserve money. For example, my truck is sitting right now, but that truck note is not sitting. It's coming. I got a truck note due next month, insurance due next month. The storage facility, yard if you want to call it, that I keep the truck in, it's due and the truck is not working, right? I don't advise that, but I prepared, been preparing for 2 years now. I put money back for all that. I knew going in that it was going to sit. I knew I was going to have some bumps and learning curve, if you will, had to get the truck registered and all of that stuff. So I'm prepared for it to be sitting for now. So you need money. You need money. You just gotta, when you start doing your research, you'll be able to figure out how much money you need. I recommend having 6 months reserved. That's just my opinion. You know, for some people, you may have it already. Some, you may have to save it up, because what you don't want to do, and I've mentioned this before, is have just enough money to go out of business. You don't want to, you know, have some money saved up and just enough to get you into the business, and then, you know, transmission go out on the truck. You need some brakes. You need a battery. I think I need a battery already. But so you want to have some money saved up or some business credit. You know, business credit, you can use your business credit to take care of those things. But even that's still got to be paid at some point, right? So you're going to have some money. And you'll know how much you need doing your research. But if you can, have 6 months reserved. So if you're sitting for a while, for whatever reason, if you want to go home and like, man, I got to keep going. I don't have enough money to go home because these bills are due. Don't put yourself in that position if you can help it. Some people, you may have to make a move now. So, but if you can help it, try to save you some money. While you watching all these videos and doing your research, be putting some money back. When you open up your business bank account, also open up a business savings account as well. Drop some money into that account, even though your truck is not working. Don't put the savings in your personal account. Put it in and some people call it an escrow account. I have two. I have a checking, savings, and an Uncle Sam account. I literally labeled it as Uncle Sam. So if I make $2,000, I'm going to put 10% back. And sometimes I put 15% back. Put it into that savings account. You know, and if you're not working, put whatever you can, $2, $5, put something in there, and you can set your check up wherever you're working now for that money to automatically be drafted into the other account. So that's my recommendation, guys. Let me say again, I am not an expert at all. My background is communication, radio, 30 plus years of doing radio. I don't know if you can see that plaque right there behind me, old Cardi B. That's what I do for a living. That's been what I've done primary since I was a young man and had hair. So that's what I've done. That's my background. I could talk to you all day about that. That's what I know and do. I am growing into an entrepreneur. I am investing stocks, bonds. I've got a consulting company. Got another company. Got some can't talk. Real estate. Just got the trucking company. So I'm not an expert, and I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you my story. I don't know a lot of this stuff. I watch YouTube channels just like you do. A lot of box truck videos just like you do. I look at expediting, and I thought about that. So I'm looking at a lot of different things. I got a truck, and I'm still researching. I don't know everything, guys. I don't mind sharing that, and I don't mind being corrected if I've gotten something wrong. Please correct me in the comments if you've heard different or on what I've heard, or if you'd like to add something. Please, no offense here. We're all learning. So that's my story. That's how I got my truck. I hope this has helped. I'm sitting here trying to think if I forgot about anything that I want to mention. Guys, you can always reach out to me. I think my email address is down in the description. It's boxtruckkenny@gmail.com. I think my phone number is down there. It is my company number, so when you call, someone's going to answer, load up transportation, but just ask to speak to Kenny, and they'll transfer the call to me, and I'll answer your questions if you have any. You can also put them in the comments. Now, some things, depending on the question, it's too long for me to respond in the comments. So if it's something brief, then I'll put it in the comment. But if it's a lengthy question, or maybe something you think is a personal question, just send me an email. I will respond. And I'm not going to say send me a love offering or anything like that. No shade against those who do that. At some point, I might ask. But right now, if you got a question, if I can answer it, drop me a line in the comment, or send me an email, or pick up the phone and call me. We'll go from there. Listen, make it a great day. Have a great weekend. If you're just watching this, it is Friday. May 21st. We got one more week before we get to, I think, Memorial Day weekend, right? Man, I can hardly wait. Relax a little bit. Tough times don't last forever. Tough people always do. And money does not come with instructions. Be smart. Take care.